Good afternoon, everyone, and those joining us online. Welcome to our fourth workshop of the year. I want to remind you that new applicants attending this workshop will get 50% application fee. We have great speakers for today. Our first speaker for today will be Michelle Inman. Joining us via Zoom will be Farouk Siddiqui, also the manager of Midport Post Office, Al Bradford, and they're going to present Get Connected and Grow by United States Postal Service. We also have Emily McHugh, and her presentation will be Exporting 101, What You Need to Know, presented by Florida Small Business Development Center at Indian River. My name is Mariely Blanco Gonzalez, and I'm the business tax analyst. With us today, our manager, Yvonne Grayson White, business tax manager, and also Laura Mayer, business tax specialist. Thank you for your attendance in this workshop, and congratulations on your decision to start or expand your business. We have some housekeeping rules, and they are: please silence or mute your electric device. Feel free to raise your hand for comments or questions. This is an open forum, and for those joining us online, if you have questions, write them in the chat for response. This workshop is being recorded. With no further ado, I want to present Michelle.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm going to let Farouk join now. Thank you, City of Port St. Lucie, for asking us to come out and speak today. I'm Michelle Inman, Customer Relations Coordinator for the West Palm Beach area. Also, I am Postal Co-Chairman for the Postal Customer Council, which is called PCC, for the Palm Beach area and the Treasure Coast. I'm part of the customer experience team within the Postal Service. I support retail and delivery operations within my area. I am a liaison between postal customers and their post offices. And like here today, I help businesses connect with each other as well as with the post office. Today I'm joined and would like to introduce you to the manager of the Midport Post Office. I'll let him introduce himself.
Good afternoon. My name is Al Bradford, and I am the manager of the Midport Port St. Lucie Post Office. The OIC for all of Port St. Lucie is Angela Baez. So if you have any questions, you come into either one of the post offices. I'm located on Veterans Memorial, and the main office is located on 290 Peacock Boulevard. Thank you. Okay. Oh yeah. There's a food drive coming Saturday. Please, whatever you guys can donate. We're looking to break numbers this year. And all the food actually stays locally throughout the Treasure Coast. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're also going to get joined today by another team member for United States Postal Service, Farouk Siddiqui. He's going to be joining us via Zoom. Farouk's presenting you with solutions that the USPS offers for your small business shipping, such as Local Connect, EDDM, and he'll also introduce you to the USPS Business Gateway. I need the clicker. Farouk, are you online?
Hey, Michelle. Yep, I'm here.
Hi. We're ready for you to share your screen.
Oh, very good. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much again for being here, online and in person. We're very excited to talk to you about the subjects that Farouk has to share. The Postal Service is hard at work implementing our 10-year Delivering for America plan. The plan's all about modernizing the Postal Service to deliver excellence for our business and residential customers. Our commitment to serving the American people remains as steady as ever. USPS is best positioned to meet your business and customer needs because we are America's most trusted government agency. We're the only carrier that delivers to every address in every community up to 7 days a week. We also have the largest regional delivery network, and this puts us in a unique position to offer a local connection to do business within. We connect our business customers with experts like Farouk, who can offer tools and consulting to grow your business. In introducing Farouk, he is your local business representative. His role is to consult with you at no cost to develop customized postal solutions geared toward helping you connect with more customers and grow your business. So with that, take notes. We're going to have question and answer opportunities in between the subjects. Take notes, and I will turn it over to Farouk now.
Awesome. Hey, thanks so much, Michelle, for that great introduction, and thanks to Yvonne for having us here today. I'm excited to present some new offerings from the USPS and show how the Postal Service is gearing up to better serve small businesses throughout the nation. As Michelle touched on, our Postmaster General's Delivering for America plan continues the USPS mission of connecting businesses, communities, and customers across the country. USPS Connect is a key part of that plan. So what is USPS Connect? It's our new approach to meet the evolving package and mail delivery needs for businesses of all sizes. The suite of affordable solutions capitalizes on our ongoing network improvements, new processes, and increased operational precision. The Connect suite is designed to meet your needs today and into the future as your business scales. So let's take a look at the 5 pillars of the Connect program. Connect Local is our same-day, next-day delivery option and provides incredible value to local businesses. How? Well, consider that 62% of shoppers take delivery speed into account before making an online purchase. Now you can impress them with Connect Local's market-leading delivery speed. In addition, 93% of shoppers also believe that due to the pandemic, supporting small businesses is more important now than ever before. Take advantage of the momentum and promote your business with USPS. So you may be wondering, how did we get so fast all of a sudden? We achieved same-day, next-day speeds by turning around packages locally at the post office, eliminating unneeded plant sortation and transportation, which saves days and dollars in transit and processing. You can even stay informed by setting up notifications through USPS.com to receive confirmation of delivery. Although same-day delivery requires early entry time on the day of delivery, you could let us pick up your packages for free and we'll still have them delivered the next day. I want you to please note that there are some restrictions that apply to the package pickup. Connect Local is available in most locations, although in some more rural areas, we may not have the demand necessary to roll the program out. But the good news is, all of Port St. Lucie post offices are enabled for Connect Local. Connect Regional leverages our Parcel Select and Parcel Select lightweight shipping lanes, but at much faster speeds. Enter your packages with the same 3-digit zip code to the local plant, and you'll obtain 1 to 2 day delivery speeds to an entire region. Our local plant is the West Palm Beach plant, which serves the South Florida region. Connect Regional allows you to reach more than 80% of the U.S. population next day throughout our nationwide network of regional plants. And for qualified regional customers, we're developing order fulfillment capability. We have over 3 million square feet of available space in our facilities, and we'd like to provide that space for your fulfillment or order processing operation. This eliminates the time and expense of bringing packages to our docks. Your fulfillment operation, nested within our building, would receive the order, pick, pack, and sort, and enter to the USPS mail stream within the same 4 walls. We then dispatch your packages to the local post office for final delivery. Connect National is our full network solution. There are no restrictions on mail entry locations. A testament to the success of the shipping model is highlighted by the USPS's COVID-19 test kit initiative. We have delivered over 737 million test kits to American homes across the USA in an average of 1.4 days from ship to deliver. At times, we were fulfilling up to 6 million test kit orders per day. In a time of need, USPS Connect delivered for the American people. We're now offering that same unmatched delivery network to businesses across the country so you can deliver for your customers too. Connect Returns is designed to improve your customer's experience with a seamless return solution. 77% of surveyed shoppers agreed they would shop again with a business that provides a positive returns experience. Connect Returns is supported by hundreds of thousands of convenient drop-off locations, as well as free package pickup from your customer's door or mailbox. Your customers can even track the progress of the return shipment through USPS Informed Delivery. There are a couple of ways that you can help your customer have an easy returns experience. You could generate a return label on USPS.com and email it to them for them to print. Or, if your customer does not have a printer, use the USPS Label Broker program, which allows your customers to go directly into their post office and we'll print the return label for them. And if it's a priority mail return, we'll provide the packaging right off the shelf as well. Connect Mail was created for mailers to send important paperwork and documents same day and next day, locally, with tracking and delivery confirmation, starting at only $2.95. So now that we've covered the full suite, let's take a deeper look at our flagship Connect program, Connect Local. When designing Connect Local, we took a look at some of our best options for major shippers and mailers, and we redesigned them to fit the needs of the local business community. Our competitive pricing allows you to send packages up to 20 pounds, starting at only $3.95. We'll provide free Connect branded flat rate boxes, poly bags, and envelopes, but you can use your own packaging too if you prefer a non-flat rate option. Connect Local packages are delivered 6 days a week with no Saturday delivery surcharge. And shippers who are enrolled with Connect Local can apply to join our Connect Local directory, which features and promotes businesses just like yours to the 9.9 daily visitors to USPS.com. 9.9 million daily visitors. It's a fantastic way to get your business national recognition. For same-day delivery, bring your packages to the back dock of the post office in the early morning, usually between 5 and 7 a.m. But I suggest that you check with the local office to confirm their morning cutoff time. To get next day delivery, bring your packages to the back dock of the post office at least 30 minutes before they close. And here's one more great reason to add Connect Local to your shipping options. The same-day delivery market in the United States is expected to increase by almost $10 billion by 2025, with a compound annual growth rate of over 20%. Don't leave your money on the table. Add Connect Local to your shipping arsenal. So as your business grows, your ability to leverage our revamped network grows too. Start by building a strong local presence and offer fast delivery to hundreds of thousands of customers with Connect Local. In time, your reach will grow and so will your order volume. Soon you could be advertising to multiple regions, and you'll need a low-cost 1 to 2 day shipping option to win those customers too. That's where USPS Regional comes into play. Now, rather than having fast local delivery to just a few 100,000 customers, you could bring your package volume to the plant serving the region and reach millions of customers in 1 to 2 days. Okay, so I know I just went over a lot of information. I think it's a great time for a quick Q&A on USPS Connect before I move on. So I'm going to check the chat and see if I have any questions in there. And Michelle, is there any questions from the audience?
Yes, ma'am.
We use USPS Connect via stamps.com.
Can we use USPS Connect via stamps.com?
Unfortunately, no. It's only accessible through USPS Click and Ship.
USPS Click and Ship.
That's right. And I was just, is everybody seeing the presentation on the screen correctly?
Yes. Any other questions from that? We're going to have Farouk's contact information at the end, so make sure you take a snapshot of the screen or a quick pic of it so that you can keep his information on file.
Very good. Oh, you know what? I got let's see, there's something in the chat here. Okay, I got a direct question. Do I need to make an appointment to bring packages to the back dock? The answer is no. Thankfully, no appointment is necessary. Just bring your packages by those cutoff times. Okay, so I think we can move on. Unless there's any other questions. Nope, okay. So, like most businesses, your customer base is probably distributed throughout the USA. So, how do you develop a strong local customer base? With USPS's Every Door direct mail service. Some of the biggest challenges for local businesses include working with a limited marketing budget, improving brand visibility, and the fact that organic traffic requires substantial effort and patience. Every Door direct mail, also known as EDDM, is designed to help you overcome those challenges. What exactly is EDDM? It's a low-cost, geographically focused advertising service designed to promote your business in a specific area of your choosing. EDDM was designed with a growth mindset. Use it to build brand recognition, increase in-store or online sales, and generate buzz around your promotions or events. So what makes EDDM different from traditional direct mail? Well, first off, it doesn't require a mailing list. There's no need for a mailing permit. It goes to every mailbox in those areas of your choosing. And the best part is that it costs less per piece. EDDM also allows for a wide range of sizes, which gives you ample room to present your message. We've done the research, and the numbers don't lie. More than half of direct mail recipients have tried a new product or service within 6 months of receiving a mail piece. Within 12 months, 41% engaged with the business online. Direct mail, including EDDM, gives your business credibility in the eyes of the public. 70% of recipients stated that they had a better impression of a company after receiving a direct mail piece from them. And furthermore, 96% of recipients stated that they open and read their mail. Compare that to email with an average open rate of 19.7%, and you can see direct mail is a far more effective marketing tool to deliver your message. Getting started with EDDM is easy. Just go to USPS.com and locate the EDDM tool. It looks kind of like a map with a search bar on the top. And in that search bar, you'll type a zip code to see all of the available routes you can mail to. You can enter up to 5 zip codes at a time. Alternatively, you could type in the address of your business and see all the routes in a radius around your business. My favorite part about the tool is the demographic information provided for each route. When you select a route, you can see figures on average age, income, household size, and more listed just above the map. This really helps you narrow down which routes will give you the greatest return on investment. The tool also calculates the number of mail pieces you'll need to have printed. So once you know how many mail pieces you need, you can partner with a local printer to complete the job for you, or you may have them print the mail pieces out and you could bring them to the post office yourself. Within 1 to 3 days, Your ad will be in your customer's mailbox. I also have a few quick tips to help you make the most of your advertising effort. Create your message with your target demographic in mind. Keep it short and sweet to make it memorable. And be sure to include a compelling offer. Time-limited discounts or free trials really help spur action among your customers. And speaking of action, add a call to action. Tell your audience exactly what to do, like call now, stop by, or visit our website. Use coupons, QR codes, and promo codes to track the success of your mail piece. So this was just a cursory glance at the EDDM process. There are so many resources to access more information about EDDM. We have plenty of guides and walkthroughs available to you. But we can also provide one-on-one guidance with your EDDM or USPS Connect service needs. You can visit us online at USPS.com or contact me directly to learn more about EDDM. And to have Connect Local unlocked on your account, just contact me and I'll send you an invitation to access the service. Hey, and while you're at USPS.com, don't forget to check out our central resource for business mailing and shipping. The USPS Business Customer Gateway. The Gateway was created to provide a quick and easy portal for business customers to manage their mailing and shipping, learn about promotions and incentives, and gain access to the full USPS Business Customer Tool Belt. A few things you can do in the Gateway include managing your mailer IDs or your mailing permits, ordering materials like mailing and shipping supplies, and generating mailing and shipping transaction reports. When you couple EDDM with USPS Connect Local, the growth potential of your business compounds. EDDM will help you acquire local customers, and USPS Connect Local helps you deliver your products to them faster. Working together, these innovative solutions can help you deliver a complete customer journey that builds loyalty. Connect and grow with the largest delivery network in the world. Our goal is to exceed the expectations of you and your customers. If there are any questions about EDDM, please feel free to shout them out now or put them in the chat. Okay, I see a question in here. Who creates the mail piece? So the print shop typically creates the mail piece unless you have some capability to print high quality, flyers and advertisements. Normally, folks rely on the printer to do that. A lot of printers also do creative, so you could design your own piece and send it to them, or you could pay them to design it for you. So that's at your discretion. Let's see. Any other questions? You can't see me? Am I,
We can't see you.
oh my camera's on.
Are you still sharing your screen? Unshare your screen so we can say goodbye to the community.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, from a USPS standpoint, from the largest business to the smallest business, we have a solution for you. And here is Farouk. He was only one capability to either share the screen or share himself. So we love the slides. Thank you, Farouk, for coming in Zoom. Thank you, Mr. Bradford, for taking time out of your day. For the staff here, for this beautiful workshop. The USPS appreciates each and every customer and would love to assist any way that we can. Do you have a slide, Farouk, of your personal information or business information?
I sure do. If you go one more slide. Is the presentation visible on your side?
Nope, we're seeing you again.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen because I have it up here.
Okay, and this is the one we want you to take a snapshot of or a screenshot of.
Yeah. Yeah, reach out to me directly. I'll be happy to help you.
Farouk, where are you located? I'm going to let you answer that.
Sure. I'm actually rather distributed. I cover Melbourne all the way down to Port St. Lucie, all the way west to Arcadia. So I have a home base in Port Charlotte area. I have one up in the Bradenton side. I've got a home base over on the Melbourne area and Port St. Lucie. I don't have a setup there yet, but I just drive out to that area when anybody needs me.
Thank you, and thank you all so much for having us here today.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. And I look forward to connecting with all of you soon.
Thank you so much, Michelle, Farouk, and also Mr. L. Thank you so much for coming. And now we are gonna go with Exporting 101, What You Need to Know, presented by Emily McHugh.
Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Exporting 101. I want to take this opportunity before I start presenting to let my post office know how much I love my postal service, okay? And I appreciate and have experienced all the improvements you've made, so we really can see it, so thank you. All right, now your postal service is an integral part to what we're going to discuss too, because it's all about shipping, exporting. You ship overseas through the post office or through different ways you can do it. So we'll launch right in to our presentation here. So let me just start off by sharing a little bit about who I am so that you understand that when you come to the SBDC, who you're talking to and what my background is that could actually help you with your business. So I am the SBDC International Trade Consultant, and SBDC stands for the Small Business Development Center. And we are a part of a national network that I'll share a little bit more about in a moment to help small businesses. And we're funded by the SBA, the Small Business Administration, which is a federal agency. So I'm also an author of the book, The Little Girl's Guide to Entrepreneurship, What I Know Now That I Sure Wish I Knew Then. And it's based on my entrepreneurial journey, starting my business and so forth. And I've recently started another business. I have an entrepreneurship online community called the Supercharge Club, and I do business coaching based on requests from my book. So that's how that happened. But my background that led up to the international trade is I worked in international trade finance for many years in New York and Mexico City for a French bank. I have lived in 6 countries and speak 3 languages. And it's kind of really in my blood. I was born in England, grew up in Jamaica, so I have this whole appreciation for all things international. So it's a thrill for me to be able to bring that to bear to our local community and also share both the finance side as well as the manufacturing side, as I have produced my own products as well. So you can connect with me on social media at emilymchugh.com/connect if you'd like. And also my email address for the SBDC is emily.mchugh@floridasbdc.org. And I'll have some more info slides at the end as well for my contact. All right, so the SBDC, as I was sharing before, this picture is a photo of our network here in Florida. So there's about almost 1,000 SBDCs throughout the United States, and also some internationally in the U.S. Virgin Islands and other territories. But here in Florida, we're one of the largest networks in the country, and the map that you see there has the logos of different universities or colleges. So we tend to be housed at a college or university through the SBDC. So we are independent of them. So here locally, our host institution is Indian River State College, where we are located. And we serve the 4 counties, Martin, St. Lucie, Okeechobee, and Indian River County. Okay, so how do we serve your business needs? We provide professional business consulting at no cost to you. Your tax-paying money is paying for this, and we are experienced and credentialed consultants that usually based on our expertise, as I just shared before, we're able to bring that to the fore here. We also provide business and management training like today, and also research data and information that we can do for you. And we have some specialties, so international trade is one of them, government contracting is another, and capital access. So we encourage you to reach out to the SBDC with anything to do with your business and see if we can be of assistance to you, and if we're not able to, if we can direct you to someone who can. But 9 out of 10 will be able to help you in one manner or another. So I'm going to start off this whole discussion by defining export, because I think it's a word that sometimes we make assumptions on what it actually means or what it doesn't mean, and we kind of limit it, but it's a bit more expansive. So in its smallest, summarized definition, it could be considered the movement of goods or services from one country to another. But this is a very nice definition below, which is a little bit more detailed. An export in international trade is a good produced in one country that is sold into another country, or a service provided in one country for a national or resident of another country. So you're like, okay, so how can that be applied? So it's more than just putting something on a ship and sending it, or putting it in a box and exporting it. It's also a service. So tourism, for example, when people from overseas come here to Florida, that's an export. We're exporting the experience of Disney World. We're exporting the experience of visiting Port St. Lucie or wherever they go. And also like medical services, people come here for medical treatment, that's considered an export. So there's a lot of ways to expand our view. So people may think, well, I'm a local company, I only serve the local community, I can't export. Think again. Do you have tourists come? Are you a restaurant? Do you have tourists coming to town? Where are they coming from? Can you market to them before they come here? So you're exporting. So again, it's a broader view of the concept so that we can really tap into the opportunity. But of course, we have to have a little quiz, because we have to spice things up in here. So the quiz starts with asking you a question, and I want to see if you're going to break the mold today. All right, let's go. What is Florida's #1 export? People? Okay, that's an interesting one. I've never heard that one before. Okay, that's a new one. Any other guesses? Our #1 export. Sugar? Orange juice or oranges? Oranges or orange juice? Oranges, okay.
So just repeat what they say so they can hear.
Oh, yes, let me repeat what the audience is saying. So they're saying oranges, orange juice. The first one was people. The other one was oranges and sugar. Someone said sugar. Cane sugar, okay. Any others? Tourism, okay. All right, very good. Yes? Automotive. Oh, intriguing. I think I have a very insightful person back there. But I will say that every single time I've asked this question at every single presentation, someone says oranges. Right. They do, which of course is a natural thing to assume because of Florida. However, let me reveal to you today, the answer is civilian aircraft, including parts at almost $8.3 billion of export value, 12% of Florida's total exports. And you might be like, how is that? Well, we have quite an aviation industry in Florida. We have Embraer, for example, which is like the Boeing of Brazil, which has an office location facility in Melbourne. And they produce a lot of airplanes that are exported around the world. And of course, aircraft are $1 million aircraft, so it's gonna, add up. And Boeing also has operations here, and also a lot of other major aircraft, Piper aircraft locally in Vero Beach, and so on. So that is it. Now, I have to tell you that it's not always gonna be this number. It's not always this. It depends on the economy. It depends on what's going on, what's in demand. So it's not always the same answer. When I gave this presentation back in, when was it? 2000 and something, a little bit after 2008 and all of that. And back then, the top export was gold, because people were pawning off their Rolexes and sending them overseas to be reconverted and come back to the US. So that's what was happening. All right, so it's very interesting. So this list is about some of Florida's top exports. Like I have the top 10 here. Just share some of them, as I said, aircraft, medicines, smartphones, integrated circuit boards, portable computers, minerals, chemical fertilizers. There's a big phosphorus production in the state of Florida. Modems, polyamide chemicals, and so on. So all kinds of things that you might not have associated with Florida that we do here either assemble, produce, or just distribute. So now I'm going to ask you, what is Florida's biggest export market like? What's the country we sell the most to? Any guesses on that? China, okay, good guess. Okay. Any others? Don't hold it back now. Don't hold it back. Canada, very good, very good. Mexico, that's also good, very good. Okay, so those are all within the realm, So what we have right now, it's Brazil, and it sometimes alternates between Canada and Brazil. Like last year or whatever, the year before was Canada, now it's Brazil. So it bounces back and forth. But the top 5, Brazil, Canada, Mexico, United Kingdom, and Colombia, as of now. As of 2022 numbers is what we have there. All right, so now what is Florida's #1 import? What do we bring into the state? Okay, all right, we'll take people again. Very good, we'll have people come back in here. There's certainly a major import, no doubt. Any other like products or things you can think of? Okay, getting close. Close-ish. Yeah. Smartphones. All right. Huh? Integrated chips. Okay, so let's get right to the dispense with the drama here. Nucleic acid salts. $5.3 billion, 4.7% of Florida's total imports that are ingredients to make other things and the chemicals and this and that. I don't know all the uses for it, but who would have thought? Who would have thought? So the top 10 list, these salts, and then the automobiles. So Yvonne was on the money with her automobiles. It's a big distribution point for automobiles. Smartphones again, large automobiles, Pacific salmon, integrated circuits, gold still on the list, alcoholic beverages, like petroleum oils, and cigars and cigarillos. So very diversified. All right, so one more question. What is Florida's biggest import market? Where do we get things from? China. Okay, that would be a good guess. And it happens to be the answer. So China at $13.9 billion coming in from China. No, that we send to China. We send $13.9 billion over there. They send the goods here. So by far and away, the biggest trading going on there. Mexico second, Canada, Ireland, and Japan. Japan buys a lot of citrus from Florida, by the way, and fruit and other things, but that's something that they do buy a lot of. So the oranges are still, they are a contender, and then the grapefruit and such. So definitely. So what we have, what we call a trade deficit, that we are importing more than we export. However, the increase of the velocity in increase of exports is getting more. So even though it's less than the imports, it's increasing. So that's important to know. So I asked this question, like, why are all these questions important? Why am I asking you all these things? So it's what we can observe and learn by observing things. So the trends, what are the trends? What is the demand in the marketplace? What's the growth? What's the velocity of speed of demand? Is it slowing down or increasing? What are the drivers in the marketplace that make us want one thing or another? And what events are taking place? The pandemic, obviously, major event, other political events, weather patterns, any kind of event you can imagine that can affect the market. And then proximity. So that could be geographic proximity. It can be, yeah, so proximity to where you have opportunity. All right, so what does all this mean for you personally, a small business owner or somebody who is thinking of exporting for yourself? So just understanding some of these key statistics will help you know why this is important. So 33% of U.S. trade happens with the U.S., with the Caribbean and Latin America comes from Florida. So a third of all trade with the Caribbean and Latin American region comes from this state. So clearly, proximity is a big factor for us. So when we work with our clients, we always explore what opportunities exist right in your backyard in Latin America, Caribbean first, before going farther afield. 66% of total Florida exports are from small businesses. So you don't have to be a big old company to export. You can be tiny, you can be whatever, and start having that global mindset. And 95% of the world's consumers are located beyond the US. That is a very sobering thought if people think, well, you know, I'm happy with the market I have here. To think beyond the borders, because if things change here or things, it's about diversifying your opportunity. So just to give you an overview. And so today I wanted to really highlight the concept of this whole Exporting 101, what you need to know, mindset, opportunity, and resources. How do you approach this whole concept? What are the opportunities and what are the resources to help you pursue them? So when we talk about mindset, this is a place that we don't tend to start, but for me, this is where we absolutely need to start. Because first of all, you have to make the decision that you want to have a global marketplace business strategy. Number two, you have to be prepared to go after it. And number three, plan to take the steps necessary to move forward. So we're going to give a bit of an overview of what some of that looks like. So imagine that today we're giving this big picture, bird's eye view of this opportunity so that you can kind of just see the lay of the land as opposed to the mechanics too much. This is more about the overview. So having this idea of a global strategy, looking out on the realm of opportunity, starting out with the concept of there's really no limits. Now, I say that with a qualification. Because yes, there are limits, and we're going to talk about some of them. But there are no limits in terms of thinking beyond your borders. So that is what I mean when I say that. So number one, being willing. Just being willing to even explore it. That's first step. The second step is cultivating that global mindset. So understanding, you know, the languages of people, the geography, the culture, the history, the politics, the religion, just understanding who you're doing business with is fundamental to even starting a lot of this. So I have another little quiz, like what language is spoken in Brazil? Say it loud and proud. Portuguese. Yay, everyone said it right. Thank you. Amen. Portuguese. And what is the capital of Brazil? Okay, I have a little bit of a reel coming out. Any others? São Paulo coming out too. One more guess? Huh? Say? Rio de Janeiro. Okay, that's a good guess. I got one. Loud and proud is Brasilia, a place not hardly everybody ever heard of. But it's this political capital that was created by Brazil. But that's the capital, Brasilia. But Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo are the places where most of the business happens. Okay, that's important to know. Don't go to Brazil and say, do you speak Spanish? Okay, all right. None of that's not happening in the audience today. That's good. So, okay, so what are some steps you can take to move forward? So, foreign market entry plan. This is just some ideas of how you can approach things with global market entry strategy. So, direct exporting, the first one, is like someone wants something and you ship it. Boom, done. That's direct from the exporter to the importer. Indirect exporting is you could potentially go through a distributor. So someone will ship it out for you. That's one way. A joint venture, you could partner with someone to ship things together. Strategic alliance is similar to the joint venture, but maybe a little looser in certain how it's set up, maybe. And then foreign direct investment or direct foreign investment, also known as FDI, is when you decide that you want to invest in the country you're doing business with and like set up a location, set up an office, a factory, etc. So you're literally going to invest in the place to set up operations there. So normally, direct exporting, indirect exporting is how we tend to start off because it's the most immediately accessible. So now opportunity. What opportunity is out there? So again, I break it down into these 3 sections. Where do you find it? Where to start looking for opportunity? How to assess it once you find it? And how to actually pursue it, how to go after it. So some considerations for that. All right, so where to find it? As I said, you want to start by looking in your own backyard. You have the Caribbean Sea, and that little arrow up there is Miami. And so you have Miami, then you have Cuba, you have Jamaica, and all these places, so you kind of get a sense of your geography. By the way, another quiz question. Is the Bahamas in the Caribbean? Yeah, I hear yes, I hear a yes, a firm yes. Okay. Well, guess what? It's not. It has the history and heritage of most Caribbean islands, but it's in the Atlantic. Very Caribbean part of the Atlantic, shall I say. But technically it's not considered, in the Caribbean, even though it's marketed as such. But these are things that are important because then you get to understand Bahamas is closer to Florida than it is to any island in the Caribbean, and so on. Okay, so basically, what is near you? What is closer to you? And understanding that makes a big difference in your access to the market. So that's the first thing we always, again, iterate to people. What is nearby? You see Colombia down there from the Caribbean. Colombia has a big Caribbean coastline, so does Mexico, and so on. So the first thing I say to people, look at a map. Get out a map and start to look at geography. Understand where things are. It's a big deal in expanding your thought process. And by the way, don't overlook the smaller islands. We say, oh, it's so small. Oh, don't think that way. Don't think that way at all, because it's a cumulative lifetime process, not just the one little transaction and so on. All right, so now how to assess what is the best opportunity. So you have to do risk analysis, understand the cost of doing business, tariffs and logistics. The next slide, I'm going to share a little bit more about that. Pricing, profit, and the demand. So you really have to do an assessment. You really have to kind of step back and be a little bit objective about this opportunity. So now this chart, I know it's kind of tiny, so I'll just explain what's up there. It's really 2 flow chart of the same thing happening, just one with pricing added in the yellow and the one up top without the price. So what you have at the very first top where you have the arrow, it says factory, where your product is made. Then it goes to the truck that leaves the factory, takes it to the port, whether it's an air or physical seaport. From that, it goes on the seas. It's traveling on the water. Then it reaches the U.S. border and it's hitting customs. And then from there, you can have whatever clearance. Once it clears customs, you may need to have other compliance considerations depending on what you're importing. This is not always true for everything. Certain types of things that you bring in have extra requirements. So you go through that process. And then you have your distributor, if you have one, or logistics, whoever's going to deliver it to you, like the trucking company and so on. And then it finally gets to you, either the retailer or the end user at the end in the circle. So on the second one in the yellow, it's showing like the pricing, like the incremental pricing going up. The price tag, everybody who touches this thing, the price goes up. So it starts off at, what does it say, $6.38, and it ends up for the retailer at $33 as each person is touching it. I was doing some of the math that was calculated. Some of it wasn't quite exactly, like it was off by 20 cents here or there, whatever. But if you do it, and if you have the handout and you actually do the math and it doesn't fully add up, don't be dismayed. It's the concept that counts at this point. But the point is that you have to realize that as you go through all those steps. Now, this varies by country. So we talk about Brazil. Brazil is an amazing market. Florida does a lot of business, but it's not easy to do business in Brazil. Plain and simple, because they have high barriers to entry. because they want to protect their market, per se. That's the logic. We have a similar thing here in the US, where one of our most recent former presidents put in place a tariff of 25% on a tremendous amount of goods coming in from China. Who is penalized, China or us? We paid at 25%. So those barriers to entry are not the best things. They usually backfire. But that's politics for you. But the same thing in other countries. They do the same, like, I'm going to increase my tariffs, I'll increase my tariffs. So we have the tariff war as what ends up happening. So in Brazil, they're known for very high tariffs, like things can be 60% tariffs. 60% of the value of a car is 60% of the value of a plane. Imagine that. So those are some serious considerations that vary by country. So that's when we get into the nitty-gritty to really understand what is going on. So now, so you know what? I should just give you a chance. Any questions so far? Because I'm kind of barreling through. All right, when you do, we'll have, time to answer for sure. Okay, or just raise your hand and I will stop. Okay, so now expectations when it comes to opportunity. This one is where we're going to spend a little time, because a lot of people have some wacky expectations when it comes to international trade. It can take longer to cultivate certain relationships depending upon what you're shipping and who you're dealing with and what your whole business is. You don't just get a sale just because you just ask for it. Just like anywhere else, you have to build the relationships. So it's even more so overseas. And so we want people to be realistic, understand what's relative to their business, their situation. Are they ready to take on that chart I just showed you? Take on all this stuff and all the costs and all the stuff there, the paperwork, whatever. Are they ready for this? And what does it take to get ready? Do they have the resources to actually meet the demand that they may get, and the time frame to pursue these opportunities? So keeping your expectations in check is really a critical component to success internationally, because you cannot rush. Now, you cannot rush your sales. So again, the American mindset, and not to speak stereotypically, but in general, is we just want to get the job done. You like it? Good. Then buy it and sell it and sign the contract and it's over. But in many countries, that's not the approach. And we get very frustrated when we deal with that. And I remember when I used to do my trips to China to visit the factories that made our products, we were making travel bags and travel accessories. And when you arrive in China, you get the best hospitality. They'll pick you up at the airport. They'll take you out to dinner. I mean, they really take good care of you. And I'm like, okay, when are we going to visit the factory? We're having dinner, we're having lunch, we're having food all day. When do we get to the factory? Oh, we're going to get there. No, we just want to make sure, But this is all a part of the strategy to make you feel comfortable and all of that, which is well intended. But the point is, they control when you go to a given place or what have you, and you cannot rush it. So we're better off, enjoy your dinner, enjoy your meal. When we get down to business, we will. But that's very much a part of it. It's not separate. The factory visit starts the minute they meet you. So it's all sum and parcel of it. And let me share this. I always share this when I do these presentations. When in any Asian country, when you present your business card, always present it with both hands with your information facing the person. You never just do this. You never just say here, or certainly don't make sure it's upside down. Always do this. It's a deep sign of respect, and it shows right away that you took the time to learn something about their culture. You actually understand them. It goes a long, long, long way. So when we would go there, I would do this for everything. If I'm paying for something, credit card, I would do this. Doing every little thing was both hands, because it means you're giving of your full self to the people. So that's one little cultural tip for you. Okay. All right, so those are your expectations. Now let's talk about resources. Yes. All right. So what are the resources you need? When do you need them? And what is your first resource? All right, yes. So now, You know, do you have the inventory to ship? Do you have the funds? Do you have the capacity to produce what someone may require? And many times for international customers, they want things customized. Like, well, in our country, we need this kind of a construction, or we need this kind of thing. Can you customize it? So that can be a case, depending on, again, what you're doing. And your capacity to produce, access to resources necessary to produce, and information that you need to make good decisions. So before I go forward, I meant to ask this question up front. What is the motivation for some of you to be here today? Like, why did you come to Exporting 101? You came to learn about taxes? The tax part. So when you say that, do you mind telling me a little more? Because I can make sure I address. Okay, so they're starting a business, and they'd like to know more about the tax implications. So when you say taxes, do you mean tariffs? What exactly do you mean when you say that? Okay. All right. Okay, so there's taxes like in the U.S. based, the IRS local taxes? Oh, okay. So let me just address that right off the bat. So we don't have, when you're doing international trade specifically, it's the only taxes you're dealing with really are the tariffs when things start to cross borders. But if you're talking about in the US, like just doing business here, you have sales tax. And of course, you have business tax, like depending on what your company setup is, are you an LLC, are you an S Corp, C Corp, that kind of a thing, what your tax structure is. So, I mean, that is a little different than the scope of today, but I just want to address it for you, that a lot depends on your corporate structure, and that's number one, actually. Everything depends on your corporate structure. And number two, sales tax where you're located. So we're here in Florida, so you have to pay sales tax, whether monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually, depending on how you decide to do it, and you would reach out to the Florida Department of Revenue for that. Of course, if you have employees, there's payroll taxes, okay, that you have to pay quarterly or monthly, and then submit quarterly or however, or submit monthly and file quarterly. So I don't know if that's addressing some of your thoughts on that. But we can talk a bit more about that if you have other questions, okay? All right, so these are the resources again. What do you have at your disposal to go international? So going back to what I was saying before, that you want to think long-term relationships. You're here and you want to get there. Now, I can't see, okay, I have to see if there are questions in the chat. We'll pause for that. Yeah, huh? Oh, you are. You just let me know if anything, okay. Yeah, so you want to have this preparatory mindset that what I'm doing today is going to build up and bear fruit in the future. And just, because a lot of people just give up and they get disillusioned, oh, it's taking too long and all this kind of thing, and they give up short of it actually taking place. So I want to really highlight this importance, like think of the lifetime or the long-term value of a customer. And by the way, your relationship with your suppliers are as important as your relationships with your customers. Let me say that one more time. Your relationships with your suppliers is as important, and sometimes even more so, than as your relationships with your customers. Because they're the ones allowing you to do what you do, whether they're overseas or here domestically. So that's something to highlight. All right, so here, just to wrap this part up, I want you to consider your SBDC, again, the Small Business Development Center, as your global gateway, and which would be kind of me at this point here locally in our area. There are like about 14 international trade consultants in Florida at the different universities, and I'm the one here on the Treasure Coast. And so when you're thinking of a market, again, this is a little bit of a review. Readiness, how ready are you to export? What market research do you need to do? How do we identify the best markets for you? Having a plan of entry into the market. And that could be a digital plan on your website. Can people find you online? That's a big, huge part of the export strategy, is being able to be found by your target market overseas. And if you're trying to do business with, say, Mexico, how will Mexicans find you? Are you optimized your site in such a way that someone in Mexico would actually find you? So that's another component. And of course, language and such. And then the export compliance, depending on what you're exporting, whether it's fruit, vegetable, certain kind of machinery, certain types of chemicals, arms, etc., will have different compliance requirements, and can you meet them? And then, of course, establishing metrics by which you assess your success for exporting. So that's a bit of an overview. So why do I say that we are a global gateway? Because we are connected to other entities that allow us to offer facilities for you. So I'll give you an example. We work with partners, the Department of Commerce, Enterprise Florida at the state level, the SBA I mentioned as well. And I've received emails from our liaisons about a company, let's say overseas, is interested in doing business with a company here on the Treasure Coast. Can you help connect us? So that inquiry is coming from the U.S. Embassy in the location overseas, and they send it over and it arrives to me, and then I make this connection, or vice versa. So we literally are that. We have these connections, and we want our customers to know that we can do this. So how do you use our services? Number one, we can brainstorm with you. Basically help you think through ideas. We can give you advice on what you're asking based on our knowledge on the subject, and then we can do training, market work, intelligence, access, research on certain things, and then we can help you formulate a plan. So it's kind of a pretty comprehensive approach to what you would like to do that can help your business specifically. So that's at the SBDC with the international trade. And then we have a specialized program called the Export Marketing Plan Program, which is a collaborative program with the Department of Commerce that I mentioned before, the U.S. Export Assistance Center, Enterprise Florida, and so on. And we do an in-depth research project, I want to call it, research study of your business, your competitors, foreign markets where you would potentially be able to go and create an action plan. This does have a cost, I have to say. All of our other consulting does not, but this one does, and you do have to apply and qualify for it. So a quick overview of it. We, like I mentioned, competitive analysis, we do country profiles and action plans. So it's a really, as I say, deep dive into what your opportunities could be overseas, and it's a very robust document that we put together, on average about 100 pages, to help you know where your best market opportunities could be. So the eligibility for this program is you're either a Florida-based manufacturer, professional service provider, and again, it's production or services in Florida. As I mentioned before, about services can be kind of broad depending on what you're doing. Must be at least 51% U.S. content product, relatively new to export, minimum 2 years in business, 5 or more full-time employees, and 500,000 to 10 million in annual sales. So you may look at this and you may say, I qualify, no, I don't qualify. What I recommend to people is, if you're interested in this program, let me know, and we'll let you know what we can do. Because some criteria we cannot, some we can. So just letting you know, reach out and don't feel like this isn't for you. And the cost to the company is $500 for this particular program, with a value of over almost $8,000. Okay, so finally, let me just summarize everything here. Again, you want to have a global mindset, understand the potential opportunities, the resources, access the information necessary to go after your market. Look at us, your SBDC, as a global gateway to you guys, to connect you with other resources and to help simplify the process as you go after what you want to pursue. And then finally, well, I shared this before, but some of our resource partners as well that I mentioned. And then just end with this, which is my contact information for me, Emily McHugh. Email emily.mchugh@floridasbdc.org. You can feel free to screenshot this. Connect, I know it's a long old website, but floridasbdc.org will do it, and you'll find us. And you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at FloridaSBDC. And I thank you for your kind audience today. Thank you very much. And any questions, if anyone has, did we answer your tax questions? More? Or we can talk more. Okay. All right, very good.
Thank you so much, Emily. Do we have any questions? No? Well, I just want to remind you that we still have 2 more workshops. The next one will be on October 19 at 10 a.m. It's doing business with the Better Business Bureau. And November 17 will be the Spanish Business Startup presented by us by the City of Port St. Lucie. Thank you so much for attending, and for those joining us online, thank you very much. And I want to close this workshop with a quote by an American motivational speaker, Dennis Waitley, when he said, "Continuous learning is the minimum requirement for success in any field." With that, I leave you. Thank you so much for your attendance. Thank you. Have a good day.